Check, check, check. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're well. Just kind of wanted to walk through the brand new Google tag. Just in case you're not 100% sure what that is, it's this guy right here. It's part of the standard Google Analytics package that you'll see inside of GTM. And it is a Google tag that's associated with a Google Analytics stream. It also looks like this. You look at the back end. This is inside of my data stream. And I've got an ID here. And I also have a Google tag ID somewhere in here, I'm sure. Although I'm kind of wondering if the designation GT is for brand new ones that have been set up before the configuration tag. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to look or how that's going to work. But right now, I set up this test property recently, and I got this GT for the tag itself, and then a separate one for Google Analytics 4. The cool thing about the tag, and the thing that I think is going to be a game changer, is you can take one tag, the information in it can be sent to multiple destinations. However, you can't reuse the same destination twice on separate tags. So that's something to keep in mind. But I just wanted to do some fact finding and some learning and kind of show you guys my process of educating myself on it. But also, as I go through it, I'll describe the things that I think make it interesting and useful. Without further ado, I'm going to jump over here to this Simo Ahava article. I'm going to drop this in the chat for you guys. I don't know how the chat feature is going to work. Figure that out later. Anyways, you guys can see the URL. So there you are. I'm gonna walk through this. One thing that is blaringly obvious for me is this server container URL. It was a toggle switch. Now it's just a parameter. And then also this page view situation is similar. It's no longer a toggle switch up here. It's just a parameter value. They talk about it here. Your answer is going to be either true or false on the send page view. It makes it uniform. It makes it tight. It makes it kind of easier to deal with in some ways. And this is the difference. We used to have these two guys, and then also even the user provided data, but now there's none of that. It's just parameter values and variable settings. A little less user friendly, in my opinion, which is a good thing for me, bad thing for folks who are just kind of brand new to this game and trying to get things set up and don't want to go through the headache. Yeah, so he's just saying that there's no functional difference. There's really just the bigger play here is it's just set up differently. I'm wondering what the suggestion is around using the different IDs that are available. So we can have a GT dash ID, or you can have just the measurement ID, which is specific to GA4. I'll get into that when I find more information about it. Now we got configuration settings. Pretty cool. Shared event data. This is kind of cool. Just, set it once and it will be prevalent across. Navigation menu ID is pretty cool. So this is like a custom situation. Obviously, there's only 50 of those that will be allowed to pass through over to GA4. If I set them up, they will not automatically show up. So I have to make sure that I'm smart about that. Custom event parameters, custom settings, all this is here. I don't think custom settings that do not correspond with actual event parameters. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to use this, but that makes sense in this context. Yeah, so I was looking at this earlier. This is actually really good. Predefined configuration settings and then predefined event settings. And just kind of seeing and knowing the difference between those. It's going to be in the other tab. Got enough tabs, huh? So this is the event settings. That's all you got to know is this part. And then I'm actually going to see which one of these goes over the GA4 into Google Ads. That's what I care the most about personally. Need to make sure that my team sees this, puts this into the playbooks for you guys. Playbooks.bluehighlightedtext.com. Free playbook, show you how to do this. So there's that. That's for events, and then I have this that's set specifically for configuration settings. Now, I should show you guys a situation that I came across earlier that I thought was interesting. So this is my GA4 configuration. I have an ID lookup table just to be extra, but it works. So content group, these are all configuration parameters, and this is the previous way that I would set this up as well, where you literally add a parameter, you put in the name, value, and you go on your way. But now I have the opportunity to create variables here and just drop everything here. Okay, so what that means is I'll just duplicate this. So every single person moving forward, if they care enough to do it, will need to go through and tidy this whole situation up. And that'll look like this. If I want to go a new variable here, so by hand, I'll have to go this direction. Well, we know now, much smarter, older and wiser. Everything snake case on the left side of the equation. Have to make sure real quick. Client IDs, cookie domain. And you can see everything that's got a check mark is a known parameter. User ID might not be a known parameter for some reason. Maybe. Weird. So these are all the standard. This is so much better, man. It wasn't like this before. I got everything coming right here. I wonder how the URL pass-through parameter works. I know one way to find out. These are for events. This is for configuration. See what it says. Maybe not. It's not even on this. Strange. Nope. All right. I'll have to educate myself, figure that one out. Because that could be useful. Okay, let's finish this up. Send page view true. I mean, and there might be a situation where you don't want to send a page view event. I can't tell you a very specific use case for that, but there is a use case for it. And I'll be back to you guys with an answer as soon as I have one. Tag setup. Okay, so now I've got a standard config settings variable. So that's here. Guess what I get to do? Remove all this extra sauce. And then you can show the inherited from the configuration. So I can go here, and then there's nothing. That option is no longer available. Right? So show inherited. Then we have everything come through. Pretty cool. That's one of the major differences, and I hope that makes sense what I just did. That's one reason why it's powerful. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I was going to show you guys these. So this is based on events. So an event is an action that you take. If you're on a certain blog post, after the page view event, you could even push it through the data layer, but probably page view be pretty easy to do. And I can have a content group based on page view that supersedes blog posts, that supersedes what section of the website you're on technically, and can just cover content group in general. You can also push, which is what I did at a previous engagement. is you can push an event called section of website through the data layer. And as long as you've got every single section of your website named, and you have someone on the dev side that's going to keep that current as the website design changes over the years, then you'll always have that information as well. Content ID, content type. So this gets really deep into, some of this is kind of user. That's where it gets confusing for me, is you can see country, currency. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the event, and could be more in line with who the user is, where they're at, location, stuff like that, language. Pretty interesting. Search terms, send to, all this. You can change the destination. To be used together with the group's configuration parameter. What does that mean? What's the group's configuration parameter? Let's take a look. Client ID is identifies a browser. First party always clear 2-year expiration. Nice. The difference between client ID and user ID is I'm identifying the browser. Need to see this. This is going to be good. Learning how to set up user properties. It's so good to see that this tool is evolving and requiring more and more people to stop ignoring it. You can create a group of targets, products, accounts, and properties, and then route events to that group. To send events to a group, you need to set the send to parameter. That's dope. That could be really powerful. So I have an example that I've shown a couple of times, Portrait Masters, where they have different photography courses. Depending on the course that you're going to, I could then set everything up off of that. I'll show you guys this. So the person who's going to do boudoir, I think that's how you say that, is going to be different than the person who probably wants to do a newborn series shoot, you know. So I can create groups of clicks or video watch that has a certain, title, and I can create groups so that whenever I send interactions, they will be going to certain places on purpose, which is pretty freaking awesome. And that's what they're talking about here. Pretty exciting, man. Cool. So you see the documentation, we see everything here. Pretty powerful stuff. Let's keep going. I'm going to find this out. That's pretty cool. Specific to a server situation. That's dope. That's really dope. So I also noticed whenever you put in your measurement ID, even if you use the raw ID or you use a variable there, like a constant variable, that's how I got mine set up. That check mark will turn green if it's active and working, like this. And that's a constant. So both examples. Measurement ID from a lookup table. One configuration tag, one Google tag. Multiple IDs. If you needed to. Same site, different tags. You could also combine tags, obviously. That's kind of cool when you think about that a little bit more. Yikes. Could be easy to mess that part up. Surprise, surprise, they're saying as early as possible for the Google tag to fire. Not surprised by that. I'm gonna go ahead and make this change live. I got 7 of them. Go to the main workspace page and you can see all the changes. They look like this. This is fine. I don't really need this. I probably won't have the lead pixel either. How did I modify it? Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and push all this live on the site. Cool. Let me run through a little bit more so you guys can kind of see what we got going on and why. Yeah, so the event tags will still work, which is kind of cool. It's just all your custom stuff won't be relevant. I really do need to work on the BHGs. Main situation. I think that mostly I just didn't know. Yeah, you don't know until you know. So now I got it going on. Initialization. It's called the configuration trigger. All right, cool. We're good there. Let's see. Wow, you can manipulate user properties in all these different places. That's crazy. So basically, you're gonna have to just know that all these exist because you might have to use them to troubleshoot. Everybody's always gonna have their preferred, methods and all that. So that's standard. Configuration setting variable, yeah. So I can just set the configuration settings variable so that inside of it the settings are already set. I don't really have to do anything from there. It's even server side. Kind of keeps it so that things are kind of tucked away and clean too. So yeah, we've already got that. That's what I did earlier. But imagine a situation to where, you just got to dig a little bit deeper. or at least that's what it feels like for me. You can get to the configuration of it pretty quick though. And then obviously we can set variables here for the event. All right, let me not get too sidetracked. Yeah, that's a good point. So I can double up here, is what he's saying. Take everything in here. I wish there was a way to like copy this quickly. The DaVinci plugin allows you to do it, but it's kind of wonky here. All right, so it's here. Now this is here. All right, so that's accomplished. Feel like first party user data to server containers. You can add the field user data. Oh, that's so good. On the event level. I wonder why on the event level. User data, user provided data. You can go here, manipulate it here. Pretty easy. For some reason, it's not showing up. Strange. Let's go to the built-ins. Should be at the bottom here. Why is my user provided data variable not showing up? Oops. Oops. There it goes. Wonder how to do this. It's pretty interesting. We'll put that in there. I want to play around with that, learn more. Single tag and toggles. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's insane. All right, that'll do it for today, y'all. I think the main thing I hope people take from this is Google Tag is here. It's working across all platforms. It's working on Google Analytics 4. It's working on Google Ads. And it'll work other places as well. It'll all be connected. And if you're really good with lookup tables as well as event parameters, values, variables, and even data layer pushes and JavaScript calls. Let's see what this is called. This is called a JavaScript object. I haven't built with this yet, but I will be. You can essentially pull in data when you need it, when you want it to happen, fire it accordingly, add it to either a user property, add it to the event itself as a user property. You might even be able to manipulate the configuration from there. I doubt it, but pretty interesting stuff nonetheless. I'm excited to see how everything's going to work. All right. Happy Friday.